And we back, y'all. Welcome back to my channel, Watch All My Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it's not gonna happen in this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Joining me as always is my girl, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello.
Yeah, she is here. And make sure you guys subscribe to Mrs. Best channel as well. Any recaps or reviews that we do not do on my channel, 9 out of 10 we cover on her channel, such as Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, and also coming soon in the winter, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is also done on her channel. So if you guys love those shows, love our recaps, make sure you subscribe to her channel as well as mine so you don't miss a thing. But tonight, in this recap, we are doing Love and Marriage Detroit Season 2, Episode 4, No Love, No Grace, All Shade. And this was a better episode, I must say. I was, a little bit more entertained and in tune with it than I was previous episodes and last season. So the episode opens up where it left off because y'all know how Love and Marriage love to do this on the cliffhanger. So we have a cliffhanger with Anthony, Dr. Latoya, aka Dr. Minnie Mouse, for those who love I call her that, Christina and Brandon. They are Dr. Latoya and Christina are in somewhat of an argument about, Dr. Latoya not standing in, her truth about how people feel about Christina and coming to her with the mess. Christina says it's only been Kim that's come to you. It's nobody else. And Dr. Toy said, no, there's other people that have come to me. There have been other people. She said, well, who are they? Name drop them. And she goes, no, I'm not going to do that. And then her confessional, Dr. Minnie Mouse was like, I have a lot of credible sources and they don't lie. They're telling the truth about Christina. And I said, okay, but you can't say who they are. You can't say what they said, but you're champion this. Hey, Shayna, thank you for coming back, love. I appreciate you. But you're champion that whatever they're telling you is legit based on your feeling. And as I said, y'all, in previous recaps, I feel like when it comes to Anthony and Dr. Minnie Mouse, they have no room. They have no room. And this episode reminded me of that. This episode, the last scene of this, reminded me of the dirty shit that they used to do on this show because I had forgotten. So I'm actually glad that I watched the show because now I feel completely different about Dr. Minnie Mouse. Not that I was going to be on her side anyway, but I kind of felt like, you know what? Something with you ain't right, and I know what it is now. So, Mrs. Best, before I jump into the conclusion of this scene, how did you feel about them going back and forth?
Latoya reminds me of Tisha on Huntsville.
Yes.
She just has no accountability. I don't think she likes to be wrong. That's something that's common of doctors too. But yeah, I just don't. You cannot say that you've heard things about someone and that someone has told you things about this person and use that as an excuse to mistreat someone and then not drop names at all. That's weird. That's weird. Now, if you didn't treat her a certain type of way and just ignored her or something, fine, I might feel differently. But because she did, it's like drop names. So I don't know. Latoya's something's wrong with her. I feel like she's super, super messy and might use the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that she's a doctor as a way to like deflect off of that. But she gives me messy. I don't think she's someone to be trusted. And I feel like in whatever circle she runs with, she's causing some sort of drama, but quietly.
Right. She one of them underhanded, like messy women that and what killed me about this scene, I'm gonna talk about this as well, is when she said that she didn't know that her and Kim had a problem. And it was like, but Kim told you at your house before the dinner that she don't see it for Christina and that there was a situation that has happened. So you knew that there was something there versus you saying that you didn't know they had problems. Kim told you at your house that they had a problem. So Dr. Minnie Mouse, I'm not here for this. So Anthony pipes up and was like, look, me and Brandon made amends and you two need to make amends because at the end of the day, we're a friendship circle and we need to make sure we're all on the same page here. We all need to make sure we walk in faith. And I'm like, here they go dropping God where God don't belong. God ain't for this pettiness. Y'all need to stop doing that. I'm telling you, y'all need to stop doing that. Y'all don't get brownie points because y'all decide to enthralled in messiness and then trying to clean it up, saying God wouldn't want us to do that. You should have thought about that before he was messy. But anyways, the girls hug it out and they decided, that they're gonna make amends and let bygones be bygones, at least for this moment. So the next thing we have is Kobe goes and visit Russell at his gym that he's opening up. He's in there painting and putting things together. And she walks in. You could tell Kobe had an attitude walking in. She has the baby, and the baby is, happy to see her dad. And she sits down and she tells him that, the convenience of him being able just to get up and go and stay out all night where she has to go and bundle up the kid and make sure she brings the kid to see her father. She tells him that you have the luxury of being able to enjoy and go as you please. And I understand Kobe. I do. I understand Kobe to an extent because men do have a better advantage of going out, and doing what they need to do and not really have to think about the well being of the child like the mother does. So I understood her 110%. Um, you know, he kind of looks at it as like an unfair gesture because at the end of the day, he is out there hustling. He's working, making sure he provides a living and, make sure he does, all the things he needs to do as well. So I do see both sides of it in a sense, but then I'm like, at the same time, you really can't compare these two because y'all both are doing a lot. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the interaction between Kobe and Russell?
He don't have no respect for her as a woman, but I've been said this about Russell. I feel like he uses his faith and God as a way to deflect and manipulate himself out of a lot of situations or manipulate things into his favor. I feel like Kobe knows that, especially growing up as a PK. She seems like she don't like her husband. Like, you're mad that you're pregnant. You're even madder you're having another girl. Your reason for not wanting another girl is because you feel like your daughter is closer to him than she is to you. I just feel like she resents him for this whole choice that he is making just with all the businesses and stuff. And I feel like in some ways she may be jealous of him to a certain extent. But
Mm.
it's definitely double sided. I don't think he respects her, and he feels like I should just be able to work and you handle this. You a woman, figure it out. That's the energy he gives. So he definitely don't respect her. But then on her end, I think she's jealous of his success, which can happen because she just seems annoyed. Like you said, she walked in with the attitude.
Yeah, she walked in, stank attitude, and I could tell it was like giving like, as soon as she walked in, look, this gym ain't even together. He up in here bullshit. That's what it was giving me when she walked in. That's why I was like, oh Lord, here we go. And Kobe, and as I said, I'm not in Kobe's body. I can't understand the emotionals of pregnancy and then working your nerves and you having all these, women have all these different
No,
things
Kobe
going.
is the type of chick that use her pregnancy as a way to escape certain stuff, or she'll use that in her favor too. Her and Russell are similar. I think that's part of why they're together. But I think that Kobe is just immature in general, emotionally, outside of the pregnancy, just a
Mm.
smidge. Uh, I think she's gonna show her ass all season, honestly. But
I don't remember her from last season. Like I said, I don't remember any of them except for Anthony. So I'm just kind of like, dang, I really wish I could remember what she was like because she wasn't pregnant the first season. So maybe I could kind of compare the two to see if that energy is the same pregnant and not pregnant. So maybe I'll go back and watch a couple episodes and see. I don't remember her at all from first season. So we'll go back to that and see. But the end of this conversation, began where he's actually letting her know that he went by Brandon and Christina's house, and Brandon's not living in the house, and he does reveal to her that they are in fact separated. And Colby, despite her and Christina not being in the best place right now, she's hurting for her because she knows that at the end of the day, she doesn't want any ill will towards her, and she doesn't want the end of their marriage to be in this position. Like she really hopes that they can get it together. Which I can appreciate her saying this, but at the same time, I'm just like, look, y'all need to make sure you and Russell on the same page too, and don't let this happen because all of the women on the show are PK kids, so they all kind of have this trauma bond, and they all respond in ways that just centers all these men and not really think of them at the same time. I think that they all do this naturally, and it's really crazy. But speaking of Christina, we then go over to her house. She's helping the kids with their homework, and Brandon is supposed to be coming by a little bit later so they can have dinner together. And she cracked me up because she couldn't help one of her girls multiply. And I said, "Come on now, Christina, that math ain't that damn new." Y'all parents crack me up with that. When these kids get this homework and y'all be I had a friend not that long ago, it was about a year ago. She was talking about, I don't remember fractions, so I can't help my kid with no homework. I'm like, it's terrible. Like, it's not that hard. I said, girl, go get you a measuring cup. You got some measuring spoons in there, use that. And get some rice and put it in the cup, and then there you go. Y'all could do something. That kind of was embarrassing for her to do on TV. But she told her, baby, that's your dad thing. So Brandon does get in the house, and they set the kids upstairs and they begin talking, and she asks him where his ring was. And he goes, it's somewhere around this house. And she goes, well, when am I going to get a new ring? And he's like, I'll look into that. But little does she know, Brandon's actually planning a surprise party. And one of the gifts that he's going to bring is an upgraded engagement ring. So they then bring the girls back in the house, back in the room, and they're talking to them about their separation and how they're not living under the roof. And the oldest daughter was like, Daddy, I want you back in the house, but you got to treat mama better. And then he goes to Christina, what have you been telling the kids? And she asked her, what have I been telling you? And the daughter said nothing. And it's like, Brandon, I'm sure your daughter can hear. I'm sure she understands that there's a time when you're soft and sweet, and there's probably a time when you're nasty and mean. I'm pretty sure she can determine the two because you're probably not that way with her. And she's probably heard and seen a lot. Y'all don't never think to consider. I think y'all give kids too much credit for them not being able to pick up on certain energies and stuff. Kids know, especially because that little girl looks about maybe 8 or 9 years old. She knows that the transfer of energy in the house, one moment it can be happy and another it can be sad. Y'all are really putting way too much emphasis on it being the other parent just because you're not in the house. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about this scene with Brandon and Christina and the kids?
It's like I understand letting your kids know what's going on with your relationship, but at the same time, I don't know, something about the conversation bothered me, but it just showed me that Brandon and Christina just are not the brightest bulbs in the bunch. That's what I will say. Uh,
So,
the
do you?
kids is too young to be fully a part of the conversation. Uh,
I was
they
just
should
going
come
to.
to the kids when they know for sure what they're going to do. Don't have the kids going with you step by step through your separation process. Me and daddy's gonna live somewhere else for a little while. He still be around from time to time. Daddy's gonna be coming to stay here again. Like it's just the way that they're doing stuff is weird. It just felt disingenuous also, but I wish them the best. I really do.
I agree. I wish them the best as well. But what do you see a parallel here between Christina and Brandon talking to their daughters versus Real Housewives of Dubai, Sarah talking to her son about certain things? Is this a parallel situation, or is there a complete difference between the two analogies here?
No, this is different. These are two this both of them are these children's parents. They are still legally married, so this is definitely different. Everyone chooses to handle their family differently. Sarah is bringing random men around her child and letting him interview them for his potential step pappy. Ain't no way in hell that that's okay. There ain't no parallel. You tried it.
What she's saying is, in the words of this scene, this is definitely perpendicular. I got you. But anyway, Sean, the next thing we got is Dr. Latoya, aka Dr. Minnie Mouse, as I like to call her, is setting up a brunch between Colby, Christina, and Kimberly. So she pretty much Colby gets there first, and they sit down, and she, tell her that she's bringing Christina and Kim together. And Colby looked like, what? We doing what? And I was with Colby. I'm like, why would you invite me on this kumbaya. I don't need to be here for this. You could do this alone. But I get it. She does need mutual ground because she has Kim's back and Kobe's supposed to have Christina back, even though I don't feel like that's going to be the case at all. But here we are. So that Kobe, no, not Kobe, Kim and Christina both get there. And they begin, talking. And Christina takes the floor and she goes, "Well, what did I do to you that caused this rift between us?" And here comes Kim with the dramatics. I could tell she's gonna be a dramatic something on the show based on the previews of next episode and this episode. She goes, "Well," she said, "I don't think you realize that I looked at you like a sister and that I only wanted the best for you and the well wishes for you. And I just wanted everything to be okay. I was championing your success. And I just feel like you just took that for granted." And I'm looking at Kim like, you still cannot tell us what this lady did to you personally. Because I wouldn't have took no time to champion no success and no brother sister talk and none of that. I'd be like, this is what you did. I did not like it. I thought it was classless of you, and I thought that we were better than that. That's what I would have did. I would have talked about how I wanted the best for you. Obviously, you did because you were friends. That's not what we talking about. And see, this is what makes me look at Kim sideways because you still can't tell us what she did other than the friend who I really felt was Chelsea. Now that I'm looking at this scene talking about the android, now I could be wrong. Allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, but I feel like it was Chelsea that did this shit. But you still can't tell us what really happened, and then all we know is that it was over an Android versus iPhone argument. That's all. That's all we know, y'all. We don't know nothing else that Christina has done. So I'm looking at Kim like this was your chance, man, to say what she did that was so dirty, why you couldn't speak to her for 5 years. This could have been everything in a nutshell, and then y'all could have deaded it right there. Easy. But they agreed to have a conversation outside of the group where they'll talk about it because I think at some point Christina does value this friendship, but at the same time, like the viewers, we need to know what happened. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that, Brian?
Pretty much the same as you. She cannot say at all what this woman has done to her. It's starting to give like they probably talked about it and moved on years ago, haven't spoken since then, and now that the cameras are here, she's acting like she's upset again. I don't think I've been said that from the beginning of our recaps discussing Kim in these episodes. I do not and have never seen it for her. I feel like she's going to be so extra to points where she's definitely being dishonest about something. I do think Christina can be a wishy washy person and friend because there's a bunch of people saying similar things about her socially. However, in the case of Kim, I don't even think there's a beef like that. I feel like she's doing all of this because the camera is here and she feels like that's what is wanted and needed. I do not like these people. I don't like her or her husband.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I feel like Christina may have her ways, and we've seen them, but I feel like y'all need to start calling it out and saying what it is. That goes for Dr. Minnie Mouse over there as well. If you're not going to tell her the names of the people, if Kim is not going to say exactly what she did, so we can the viewing audience, because this is what y'all are here for us to be able to judge what we're looking at. How are we supposed to be on your
And
side?
Kim is full of shit because whatever she did can't be that bad. We already know she has not slept with or tried to do anything with her husband. She ain't done nothing to your kids. She hasn't stolen your money because you ain't done business together. So nothing that she could have done to you could be so bad because it's just something that she may have said. So for me, it's like I don't even care to hear what the alleged thing that Christina did. I don't care to hear that from Kim because it's like, why did it take you so long to say it? Most people would be singing like a canary. If somebody they didn't like who did something to them and they was on camera, they'd be saying it as much as they could. This lady is not going to name it. She's really, really I feel like her and her husband are planning to be messy on this show so they don't have to talk about their own marriage. Because I personally think their marriage is a mess.
And that could be true. And Carlos, he gonna make sure it comes to the surface. Trust me, he gonna find something. We got Trisha and Ken over there. So trust me, I know if
It
there's
may take
skeletons
some
here,
time, but it's coming.
it's coming. Trust me, it's coming because we know everything's squeaky clean. Carlos ain't gonna bring y'all on no show if y'all ain't got shit to bring. So trust me, it's coming. Whatever it is, it's coming out, and I'm gonna be right here because I want to know. I want to know what it is. But they end up leaving the brunch. Dr. Latoya said, "See, this brunch went exactly how I wanted it to go. I feel very empowered, and I feel that we really went somewhere in this conversation, and I'm just so overjoyed over this." And I'm looking at her like, "Ooh, I want somebody to pull your card."
I just want somebody to smack her bottom lip while she's sipping water. Not roughly either, just enough to make her miss her mouth. I she
There's something about her I just can't get with. Like I'm trying, y'all. I really am trying to give her a clean slate, but it's something about Dr. Latoya that I just cannot climb on board with.
she's
I don't know what.
probably the one controlling Anthony's messy self. We could be calling Anthony, all sorts of sassy and sensitive and overly emotional, but I'm starting to see that Latoya kind of thrives on the mess and the way she responds calmly to everything or tries to close stuff out like nothing happened. Nah, I don't trust that. Something wrong with her.
Yeah, I don't trust it either. And you might be right on that one because it's something. Because it's like you cannot be this contrived to think that.
Because Anthony's so insecure. We know he just want to be liked. So he not going to do all this messy stuff. I really feel like she's like probably, pumping his head with stuff and that's all they talk about. I don't know. She just gives that. She gives that. And she seems really dissatisfied, like, with her life to a certain extent. Especially like in season one, I saw more of that. So I don't know. Maybe she messy because she bored, but I don't trust
It's
Latoya.
something because I'm telling y'all, she can give y'all a show all y'all want to. I see right through the performance. I see the back. I see the backhand. Sorry, I do. I don't see nothing clear when it comes to her. So moving on from there, the men then meet up. Bravo set up something for them to do, and this is kind of like our first time really seeing him outside of his business, and he's kind of mix and mingle with the friends. Brandon shows up. And then after that, Anthony Russell, and then Marcel shows up last. And Bravo said, I don't really know how to feel about Marcel because when him and his wife came to my anniversary party, his wife was on that ish, which makes me believe that Kim did come and did more than what they showed on TV. But they Brandon kind of takes the floor and says that right now, he's trying to make sure all the guys are cool despite what Kim and Christina are going through. He hopes Marcel is cool. And Marcel told him, yeah, I ain't got no problem with you. Like, that's we're gonna leave that with our wives. And that put Brandon at some ease because he was like, I really ain't trying to get into it over what our wives are going through. And then he also, lets it be known that he's throwing a surprise party and that he is asking for Colby and Dr. Latoya to meet up with him, which were the wrong two people to actually meet up with him. I don't know why he did this, but he actually ended up wanting them to let them know that, hey, make sure you show up at the jeweler because I want to pick up a, upgraded ring for Christina. And they pretty much, say, yeah, we'll make sure that this happens. And then they'll go to the surprise party. But he told Marcel, look, based on our wife's rapport, I don't think I'm going to invite her. And Marcel said, that's cool. I understand. And that was pretty much it. Nice, cool. Got to the point. We had with the guys. Um, I still don't know how I feel about Bravo. I don't really. I'm not liking Marcel. And y'all know how I feel about Brandon and Anthony. So, how did you feel about the guys' interaction?
Bravo, I don't I'm on the fence with him right now, especially with the scene we got with him and his spouse, which I'll reserve my comments for later. But the rest of the men I don't like. I don't listen. Brandon had a man bun with gray hair, so that off top, I don't care if the man bun has been retired. Like I don't care. The fact that he had it at that big age, I have a problem with that. So he just doesn't seem very accountable, and I feel like he's also going to use God and prayer as a way to sneak back into his house and fool everybody. I just don't like these men, and Marcel seems messy as well. There's like, yes, opposites attract, but there's also something very similar personality wise that also, keeps people together. So I feel like he just as aggressive as his wife. He just quieter. But I don't care about these men. I don't understand why you're trying to get someone a ring who doesn't know if they want to be with you.
It's
But
given. I know I can get her with some fine jewelry, and she'll be ready to make up her mind. And if that really is the case, Christina, you need to have more, disposition than that, because there's no way someone can flash some jewelry in my face and then we talk about getting back together and stuff. I need you to have stronger feelings than that. If
you
this is over the
know, he knows too that Latoya and Christina just now got cool. So that's not the time to invite her to something so personal, such as a new wedding ring. And then with Kobe, you should know that your wife and Kobe don't ain't cool like that, because prior to you guys separating, they were not the closest. So I don't know why he wants to invite those two. But other than that, it was what it was. I
he
just
was
didn't
better off
like.
inviting. He was better off inviting Kim to the thing. If you was going to be messy
At
like that,
least invite someone who has like a history of actually being this person's friend at one time. And it doesn't seem like Latoya and Christina really have that.
no, you can tell they're just being cordial for the show because they need to film with each other. And I feel like Kobe wants to be in better graces with Christina, but she's being cautious. And a lot of that could be because she is pregnant, so you know that she doesn't want to bring any added stress. So I can understand that too. But I feel like those two were the wrong people. I feel like you were fine with Chelsea and your niece. We'll divulge that in a second. But the next thing we have is we are at Bravo's house. He's getting ready to, from what I understand, go to some kind of game. I didn't hear what the game was, but he couldn't work the drink machine they had in their basement, so he calls Lakita down, and she comes down there and they get themselves a drink. And she goes, "Well, where are you going?" And he told her, "Well, I got to go out of a game." And she goes, "Oh, well, the kids are at my mom's house. I thought we would have this time for us." And he goes, "Well, you already know I had this plan." And she goes, "Well, what time you gonna be home?" He goes, "Well, what time would you like me to be home?" She goes, "No, don't do that, because if I give you a time, you argue and you stay out later than what you're supposed to stay out. You don't be coming home to 3, and then when you get home, you go straight to sleep and you don't wake up. You stay asleep all day long." Now, I felt two ways about this. I felt two ways about this. One, what is really going on here? Like, what is really the problem? Because I feel like y'all are skating over an issue that y'all don't want the viewing public to see just yet, but we can see it's seeping through the cracks, whatever it is. And then two, why can't you get dressed and go with him? Is the question. Like, why can't you just go? Is it a ticket game where you have to buy a ticket? I needed more explanation than this. But she says that her reasoning behind, him going out, she lost her father at a very young age. He was shot and killed in front of a bar. So she worries about her husband. It's not about infidelity or anything of that sort. She just worries about his safety, which is valid. But you need to go to some therapy, sis, because that's a long time for you to carry that kind of trauma with you and then placing it at the foot of your husband. I feel like you needed to get some therapy and make sure you realize, because he has several businesses in the Detroit area. So to me, why even go through all these strikes of him opening these kinds of businesses if that's that big of a trauma for you? It was just weird. So, Mrs. Best, now that I've described the scene, I can't wait to hear your input because I know you got a big opinion about this.
It did definitely seem like they were trying to like skate over something that is a genuine issue, which I can understand. I can imagine being on camera for lots of people to watch. I don't be liking to argue or snap at my spouse in the grocery store or something. Like, so I do get that people want privacy, but I don't know. I don't buy the dad excuse that she has and worrying about his safety. That's a grown big ass man. I don't buy that at all. I think that it likely could be some sort of infidelity or potential for some infidelity or something. The way she's moving, something definitely happened. Um, but at the same time, like we know that he owns event spaces and clubs and stuff. So I do understand why he's out late. And it looks like he always comes home. So it's like, yeah, he's going to sleep all day if he works at night. It looks like he's trying to balance having a business and family and all of that stuff, which we'll see. But at the same time, I can't properly comment on this because it's so clear that there's something that they're not telling us. And I feel like it might be like infidelity or him doing something he shouldn't have done, you know? Something happened.
Yeah, it is given something happened for sure, but I can't place it either. I was like, okay, her feeling is valid, but once again, man, you need to get some help for that because for you to be carrying that around for all these years, like I could see if it recently just happened, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and you have this fear. I could see if it was that, but her fear, like anything could happen. Like y'all can't. What people understand, y'all can't live in these kind of fears like this and holding people hostage to that. Like, because you're bringing energy and speaking things into existence that could very much happen, and it's like you need to have better understanding with that. Another thing I did not like is that well, where are your friends? Why aren't you going out? Where if the kids is at your mama's house, why are you staying in the house while he goes out? I don't understand that. Why can't you call, your girlfriends, call Christina or call Kobe, call somebody who you close to and have a girls' night. Say, hey girl, can I come over? Let's drink some wine and let's hang out because Bravo ain't gonna be at home. I'm not trying to be at home by myself. So let me go ahead and like she gives me like she wants it's like it's like a pity party. I was so confused by looking at her. I don't like Lakita either, y'all. And the reason why I'm saying I don't like her is because I feel like she finna play the woe is me. She won't. It's gonna be like it's gonna come across, even though she probably is not asking for it, but it's gonna come across. So we need to feel sorry for her because Bravo is choosing his career and Bravo is not spending time with her. I feel like this is where you need to have your own life outside of Bravo. If Bravo is going out to events and going to sporting games and hanging out with his friends, then you need to get your ass up and go with your friends too. Like you need to have a life outside of him and your kids because it sounds like you're just doing this in spite of the kids, and I'm not liking that. I'm just not liking that for her. To me, I felt like no, that's not what needs to happen. That's not what needs to happen at all. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her. I can already tell who on Love and Marriage Huntsville acted like this. Was this Letitia at first? I think it was Letitia.
Huh. Either way, it's annoying. It's annoying. It is. It is. It's like your man coming home, your kids is older. Like, what is the problem? And then you wanted time alone. So it's like, I'm sure he bought these tickets for this game in advance. Like, something off. But yeah, I didn't know. I don't know how to feel about her just yet or him.
There y'all have it, y'all. We tried to dissect this as much as we could, but they just like Kim and Marcel, they're not giving much of what the issue is and what's the problem because there's obviously something here that we're missing. So we'll see what it is. I'm hoping she opens up more, but I'm praying it's not no pity party. Because I'm gonna be like, look, girl, you got to get over this now. Come on, you on TV now. I can't relate to this, like this kind of emplacement. I just can't relate to that because at the end of the day, if he want to go out and do his thing, then you need to do your thing. If you need to go out to one of the lounges that he owns and run it, you need to do that. Like, think of you first. Like, y'all need to, I'm telling you, women, stop. When these men have success in careers and they're always gone, you need to be getting your asses up too and doing something with your life. Like it's very simple, especially when you have the means. Like your kids was at your mama's house. I could see if the kids was like at home and he just decided to go. I could understand that, even though it would be wrong. But I can understand if you had no kids in the house. You had nothing, so would you just go sit at home? That big ass house? Okay, okay, could be me, but okay. So moving on from this scene, we have the last scene of the show, which was Brandon meeting up with I forgot the niece's name, but it was Christina's niece, her friend Chelsea, and then Colby and Dr. Latoya. They all show up, and you know, Everyone speaks, and it was very pleasant at first. I don't know who mentioned what first because I was too busy taking notes because I'm like, okay, this seems like it's going to go real quick, real fast, and I don't know. And so Chelsea takes this moment, and I have forgotten because, as I told y'all, season one of this show, I was not impressed, but I remember I was really mad at Anthony for yelling at a particular friend of Christina's. I didn't realize this was that friend. So now that I know that this is the friend, I'm not looking at the scene differently. I'm like, oh yeah, that was messed up. So Chelsea was trying to confront Dr. Latoya about her, I guess, not supporting their wine business, the business that she went to for the tasting, and Anthony was cutting up, talking about you need to act like you here with some bosses because you with some bosses and all that, chesting up to her. So she wanted to know, like, when did I, come at your business and saying for people not to support you? And Dr. Minnie Mouse said, look, I'm not here on that because you did it and you know you did it. And she goes, no, I want you to tell me. It's kind of like with Christina. Dr. Minnie Mouse don't want to say who said what. So she's gonna say people just out in the streets, people just out in the streets. So just like, no, I want you to say who actually told you that I was the person, or where's the proof? Do you got a screenshot of the tweet of me saying that not to support your business? And Kobe interjects, and this is where I wish Kobe would not have, because now I got to get you together, Kobe, because that wasn't your place. I would have just sat there and just watched these two fools go at it the entire time. But Kobe interjects herself. She goes, what is the purpose of this? Like, why are you doing this? And she said, Chelsea said, Kobe, respectfully, sit this one out. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Sit it on out. She goes, no, I'm not going to sit it on out, Chelsea. We're all here and you're talking all around us. She said, Kobe, once again, this ain't got shit to do with you. I'm talking to Dr. Minnie Mouse over there. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Stay out of this. And Kobe went back and down. So she said, I can't believe I'm talking to the two stooges here. And Kobe said, oh, so now you're going to call me out my name? I got to go. Girl, bye. I got to go. So Kobe excuses herself out the room. And, Dr. Latoya then addresses Brandon. She goes, look, I know you and Anthony just made up, and I know that you would like me to be at her surprise party and help you pick out a ring, but because of this energy, and Chelsea's like, well, what energy are you talking about? So she walks closer and gets all up in Dr. Latoya's face. She goes, what energy are you talking about? What did I do? All I just asked you is, what did I do, and how did I say not to support your business? And Dr. Latoya said, look, I'm not going to go there with you. So she goes, you know what, Brandon? I'm going to respectfully decline the invite to the party. I am so sorry about this, but we will still be cool. And then she leaves. And Chelsea said, bye. And so she walks out, and then they continue on the conversation. And he goes, damn, like now she's not gonna come. And Chelsea said she wasn't coming no way. That was her excuse to get out of it because she was looking for a reason to get out of it in the first place. Now, I do agree with that. I do. I do agree that she probably is still feeling the way about Christina and going to her birthday. And since Kim is not going, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to go because of that. That's my opinion of it. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that scene?
Eh, I don't think she wanted to go because if she's in the same room as Chelsea, I think she has a fear of being exposed as a liar, personally. But I think Chelsea handled herself well. I think she got her together. Um, Stop saying and making allegations against people that could really actually impact their reputation if you don't have receipts. That's not good. So if I was Chelsea, I definitely would have addressed it as well. At the end of the day, they I need a Chelsea. Hell, she did fine. She said my friend may have forgave y'all heifers, but I didn't. So
Yeah, and like I said, when I saw this scene the first time, I didn't realize that was that same lady that was at the wine tasting that Anthony went off on. And I told you I didn't like that. So when I see her here, and this was the moment, I'm like, yeah, Chelsea, take your moment. Absolutely, take your moment because they did her so wrong at that wine tasting. I think that was the reason why I stopped recapping it, was that scene there. I believe I have to go back and watch y'all, but I really think that was the moment I stopped recapping the show because I couldn't believe what he did. So I wasn't mad at Chelsea. I wasn't. I think out of everybody in this equation, I actually was more mad at Kobe than I was at anybody else. because I kind of felt like, why are you jumping in?
Kobe is using it that she's out there. You're gonna call a pregnant woman a name? Yeah, because sometimes pregnant women be acting like bitches, hell, or other things. Like just because you're pregnant does not mean that people are not gonna feel a way about you. Just because you're pregnant does not give you the right to jump into somebody else's business. Yes, they were having the conversation in front of you, but the conversation in front of you ain't have nothing to do with you. So if you're going to use your pregnancy as an excuse and reason for things, shouldn't you have no problem minding your business to keep your own peace and protect your own pregnancy? But instead, you want to go tit for tat with somebody over some mess that has nothing to do with you, and then walk out trying to play yourself as the victim. I'm. That's why I say she just as manipulative as her husband, just in different ways. But that's what Kobe does. She
Yeah, I was mad at Kobe because I was like, first off, I don't remember if Kobe was there at that event. That I don't remember if she was there. Or not. I don't remember, but I just remember thinking to myself, looking at this thing like, that's get back. When I see you next time, I'm gonna get you, and that's what happened. So Kobe jumping in that, yeah, that was so like poor judgment of her to do because it's like Latoya don't need no help defending herself. What are you doing? Why are you jumping in this? Yeah, I was mad at Kobe. I was like, I don't see it for Kobe, and like, well, I see it for. I still don't. I still like her, but I felt like this made me look at her a certain kind of way, and I'm hoping this ain't the same energy while pregnant that she keeping, because then I'm really going. I'm gonna have to go in, y'all. I'm sorry, I don't want to, but this shit that she did, I was more mad at her than I was Chelsea getting that Latoya at the time that she probably shouldn't have. But hell, it is what it is. You know, I'm probably not gonna see you anymore, and I don't want to do that Christina's birthday. So we just going to have to do it here, and know well, you're gonna hear this mouth. So that's what it is. I wasn't mad at Chelsea. I hope Chelsea comes to the reunion because I need her to address this again. I do. I need her to address this again, except with Anthony. I need her because I need her to get him together again. But that was pretty much the episode, y'all. It was as I said, it was a decent episode. Um, Carlos, I need to see more of Bravo and Lakita because I need to know what I'm judging here. And if there is some shit out there, go ahead and bring it to the surface like you do every other couple on the Love and Marriage franchises that you be doing. Other than that, everything else, y'all, it was an okay episode. I mean, I'm gonna hang it. They'll be on episode 4. I went above what I did last season, so that lets you know I'm still entertained by it. Let's hope it stays that way. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add before we end the live?
no, I enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. And we will see you guys on Mrs. Best channel on. Oh, I forgot. Basketball Wives is gone. I was going to say Basketball Wives, but it is gone.
Oh,
So
Wednesday,
we'll
Love
be
and
back
Hip
on her.
Hop.
Yeah, we'll be back on her channel Wednesday, and then we'll be back on my channel on Thursday for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and then on Saturday for the premiere of or when is the 6th? Hold on, y'all. So I want to give y'all accurate time frames. Is it 6 on a Sunday? For some reason, I think it's a Friday. Oh,
The
okay.
sixth, the sixth is Sunday.
It is on Sunday. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have a after Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I only have Love and Marriage. Hi Naya. Thank you for being here, love. We appreciate you. I only have Love and Marriage Detroit and Salt Lake City next week. Says I lose the Braxtons. So, but we premiere with Real Housewives of Potomac, which I'm excited about. And then I will make an announcement video. I'll probably do an updates video on Thursday too to discuss, Bell Collective and that it's coming back November 1st. And we're going to see some of the things that the ladies have been talking about. And I have a couple other announcements that we'll be making. And then on Mrs. Best channel in October, we're also premiering Queen's Court, I believe. So we'll be there for that as well. So lots of things coming up, y'all. It's going to be a busy last half of this year, which I'm excited about. So we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for being here. Once again, like, comment, and subscribe to both channels, especially if you like what you see, because we definitely go win when we need to go win. But I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.